It can be kind of scary, and it also can be frustrating because you're not sure how to get views, you're not sure how to grow. And personally, I know exactly how you feel. I remember when I posted my first video, scared, armpit sweaty, nervous to put myself out there on YouTube. But today, I've now posted thousands of videos. I've gotten over 200 million views on YouTube, and now I've helped tens of thousands of people really build the confidence to get on camera and succeed with YouTube. Gotta start before you're ready. Now, of course, there's all kinds of tactics, and you gotta have great titles and thumbnails and how do you make videos. But the truth that I've noticed that holds most people back is actually this first C, courage. You gotta overcome the fear of what other people think. The truth is, one of the hardest obstacles to overcome when getting on YouTube is the fear of what other people think. A lot of times we might say, I'm too old to start YouTube, or I'm too young to start YouTube. A lot of other excuses people have. I don't have the time to do this. You have to actually overcome all of those excuses, really stop making excuses and say, I'm just gonna start getting results. I'm not gonna let time hold me back, my age hold me back. You have to have the courage to get on camera. And then when you play back that video, you have to hear your own voice, and you're probably not gonna like it. You gotta have the courage to start before you're ready. You gotta have the courage to punch fear in the face. You gotta have courage to embrace criticism and negative comments. I promise you that if you start posting content on the internet, and if you achieve your stated goal, Sean, I would love to get 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, and get a silver play button. If you get 100,000 subscribers, there's definitely gonna be a few people on the journey who don't like you, or they don't like your content, but you have to start anyways. Get that $50 webcam, grab that flashlight as your only lighting source. Just start, because once you start moving, you can improve as you go. I've learned this. You can't steer a parked car. The first C of the 7 C's of YouTube success is courage. You have to start before you're ready. You gotta start moving. Because once you start moving, the rest of the tips, once you start moving, the rest of the strategies, they actually work. But you can't just sit there and just absorb a bunch of information and take no action and expect to get results. Friend, it's time to summon a new level of courage. Oh, but Sean, I don't have enough money to do this. Friend, if you're watching this video, you can start. Because you're either watching this on a smartphone, you're listening to this from your phone or in your car, and at home you got a laptop, or you got a computer, or your friend does, or your partner does, or you could go borrow one. Like, there's a way to figure out how to do this. See, I've learned it actually really isn't about your resources. It's about your resourcefulness. So you just got to get resourceful. Oh yeah, okay, I do have these obstacles. I do have these setbacks. I do have these challenges. I do have that crazy ex. I do have that stuff in that situation. But I'm gonna be resourceful. I'm gonna be wise. I'm gonna be cautious, but I'm going to be courageous. Hey, do you want to get all of your specific YouTube questions answered? If yes, sign up for VIP at thinkmediavip.com. During this challenge, there are 3 exclusive VIP Q&A sessions with myself and Melissa, one of our Think Media certified coaches. Getting our time and personalized attention like this is typically only available in our $5,000 coaching program. But the cool thing is you can save a ton of money on VIP. You can sign up right now and jump in with us anytime at thinkmediavip.com. Are you looking for the best YouTube marketing and money-making strategies for growing your online business? Well, then make sure you subscribe to the Think Media podcast. Every single Tuesday, we release a power-packed, actionable podcast episode where we cover the latest advanced strategies for growing faster on YouTube. We bring on industry experts and pick their brains on how they use YouTube to grow their businesses so you can learn their secrets. To listen, just search Think Media Podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to podcasts, or check out the video podcast on YouTube at youtube.com/Think Media Podcast. Hey, did you know that during the challenge, we are offering a special deal on our YouTube starter kit? It's on sale right now at tubestarterkit.com. This kit includes the entire shoot day checklist that we use at Think Media that includes how we come up with video ideas, how we prep, how we shoot, and how we upload our YouTube videos. It's got video description templates, title templates, 51 money-making video ideas, and more. Now, the one-time pricing that was available on the starter kit right when you signed up for the challenge isn't available anymore. But the good news is there's still a massive discount going on the YouTube starter kit. All you got to do is go to tubestarterkit.com to get access and to accelerate your YouTube channel growth. Do you want to improve the quality of your videos? Are you trying to figure out what is the best camera or how to accessorize your smartphone with audio and lighting? Do you want to figure out the best microphones and live streaming gear for creating content on YouTube and across social media platforms? If you'd say yes, then I want to invite you to check out and subscribe to our main YouTube channel, Think Media. At youtube.com/thinkmediatv, you'll find weekly uploads that'll help you up your video game and find the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. Just click the link in the description or go to youtube.com/thinkmediatv to get access for free. The creator economy is booming, and if you're looking for a way to get deeper dive tips and more connection with us at Think Media, then I want to invite you to follow us over on Instagram at Official Think Media, where we post daily tips to help you get an edge in the creator economy. The brand new and updated version of YouTube Secrets 2nd edition is out now. Learn the strategies of today's top video influencers in this step-by-step YouTube playbook. Get your paperback, Kindle, or audiobook today at ytsecrets.com or by clicking the link in the show notes or the description.
Content creation is the world's newest language. If you go on vacation and you had a translator with you, I would deem that kind of frustrating. Every time you're trying to communicate, you're gonna have some trouble. But if you knew how to speak the language, you can navigate the land better, right? And so I believe if you can put that on you, you should be able to film you. You're not gonna be the content creator you're supposed to be right now. When you look back on the videos that I did in 2020, I mean, I had a mushroom haircut. I was like, what was I doing in 2020? But I was like, man, I can get better. And as you do it, you get better. And this is what I found. I found that there's only one way to actually get better. Omar, how do I get better? You could only get better by doing. Nothing replaces repetition. Repetition will get you better. Repetition will get you in the flow. And then before you know it, it's just gonna be a natural thing for you to create videos.
On YouTube. One of the biggest things I see people do is overthinking, right? Like, you gotta just press record. You gotta punch fear in the face, punch perfectionism in the face, and press record.
I take the whole city down with this. I take the whole city down with this. Wanna be down, wanna dash, wanna go fast, wanna be brave, wanna move like an assassin. Just to be frank, it's not for the faint of heart. And the only question left is, where do we start? I take the whole city down with this. I take the whole city down with this. I'm a Palisade, swinging on a helicopter blade, eating fish fillet. When I'm done, I'll be on the way. I was sitting back, I can see the city in decay. I'm a stampede running through the middle of your face. I'm a red cape, hip stance, I'ma save the day. At the midpoint, nice of you to come and drain the race. If it's victory, that's the only thing that I'ma taste. Watch the moon, river dance, and reflect the lake. Power is everything. The voice inside your head said that you can do anything. You start to feel the power building up in your ears ring. You feel the bravery and courage tugging your heartstrings. It's not over. You can see it, it's right there. It's getting closer. Your energy means enemies are getting colder. It's the night that we strike, be like cobras. Take a minute to power up, then it's over. Wanna be down, wanna dash, wanna go fast, wanna be brave, wanna move like an assassin. Just to be frank, it's not for the faint of heart. And the only question left is, where do we start? I take the whole city down with this. I take the whole city down with this. I take the whole city down with this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the YouTube 1K Challenge day 2. This is the second session. And in this session, we're going to be talking about 10 things we wish we knew when we were starting YouTube. You're going to want to stick around until the end, take notes, because we actually have 2 special guests that are going to be sharing their wins, their mistakes, their lessons, so that ultimately you can reach your first or next 1,000 subscribers faster. We're going to be talking a little bit about monetization, as well as a lot of the mindset and strategies and tactics for YouTube success in 2024. I can't wait for you to meet these 2 creators and really business-minded, really entrepreneurs that are building up their YouTube channels, doing some cool things. And this session is going to be packed full of ideas. But I need to know, where are you watching from in the world? Shout me out. I'm coming to you from the Pacific Northwest, and I see you. Ruth is in the house in Montana. Thanks so much for being here, Ruth. I got my pen and my pad. I like that. Alvin's got the pen and the pad. I got my pencil pouch. I'm ready to take notes today because our guests have got so much good information. They kind of leaked it to me early, but we're going to be diving into some of their stories. We got Kansas here, Belize. I don't know if I've ever seen Belize on our challenge before, but I just remember, I feel like in Ocean's 11, George Clooney and Brad Pitt one time was like, something, go to Belize. I've never been. I want to go to Belize. Because after watching those guys, Qatar, man, we got people all around the world. India's in the house, Tacoma, Washington. I'm trying to get John Chris tickets. They go on, maybe, are they going on sale? Like, okay, whatever. In Tacoma, he's coming to Tacoma. He's a comedian anyways, trying to take my wife on a date. Brazil in the house. We got Mexico, we got Italy, we got Venezuela, Michigan, we got Netherlands. Awesome. So keep shouting me out. A couple things we're going to do. Melissa has got some announcements for us. We have giveaways. As you know, we got giveaways. And today's giveaway is really cool. We have our quick tip. So make sure to always get here on time. And I know that if you happen to be watching the replay, commit to always watching the replay, because I know you might have work, different time zones. The free replays are up for a limited time, but don't miss any of the 5 sessions. You know, even on Friday, the 5th session, we're going super deep into monetization and making money. So stick around for the entire challenge. Commitment is the foundation of all great accomplishments. And so we have so many powerful sessions coming up, but you're here live. And so really want to honor you for showing up live, being locked in, ready, got your mind right, your goals going, your focus fixed, your tea in the cup, you got your water, your electrolytes, your element salt in your water with some magnesium, a potassium, maybe some coffee. What are we even talking about? And then we got Mel coming up, and then there's a quick tip every day. So we have the 5 main sessions, the 5 quick tips. But let me welcome back the incontrovertible Melissa, the CMO of Big Media. Melissa, what have you loved most from the challenge after day 1?
You know what, Sean? I was actually prepared for this question because I saw this comment coming up when we were just doing our little pre-show countdown. Shariva says, I'm excited for day 2. I'm recording my video and I will be editing and posting today. That's what I love the most about the challenge, Sean, is when people are taking action and actually doing what we're telling you to do, like actually taking these tips. Everything that Sean is teaching is so actionable and strategic that if you just do it, if you literally just do it and take action, you're going to see huge results. So congratulations. That is awesome that you're taking that action. I see Shannon also saying, did the homework today and uploaded a video today. So I love that. I did the homework. I like thinking about it like homework. We call it the daily challenge, but yes, it is your homework. That's what we want you to do once you leave the session today. And I did want to highlight this from the Lost Coconut. Finally made it to the stream and missed the first one. So glad that you made it here live. Being on the live sessions is like nothing else. You can see how crazy the chat is. It is so fun. But like Sean said, if you miss any of the sessions, we do have the replays available to you, but it's only for like this week. And so you do want to, like, you don't want to get too far behind if you're relying on these replays right now. If you're watching me on a replay, that's great. Make sure that you're catching up as quickly as you can because we do only have a week for that. But I'm so excited for the people who are here live. And then, of course, Sean, we have Rebecca Consulting saying yesterday's VIP session was like a fire hose. Yeah, it's basically one-on-one coaching for like a fraction of the cost. So this is also one of my favorites because getting to know you guys on like that more personal level is definitely something that is one of the most special parts of this challenge for us, is getting to have like those Zoom interactions and hearing all about your stories. So those are some of my favorite things that I just like pulled out of the comments so far today, Sean.
I love that. You know, Mel, one of my favorite things is really the word that comes to mind is love. This
Mhm.
community and the type of people that are in the challenge. See, my hope and our whole entire team's vision is we hope that the people who rally and are part of the things that we do at Think Media are purpose-driven people that love others, that are kind, and that
Mhm.
recognize with so much vitriol and cynicism and negativity in the world, which I'm empathetic to because there's a lot of it's dark times. There's some hard stuff going on. There's something about staying positive, staying joyful, and being people that build each other up, not tear each other down. Being people that are positive, not negative. Being people that aren't just Pollyanna and pretending like everything's going right, but people who just choose that positive perspective and want to build others up. See, that's the community. And that's kind of actually
Mhm.
our standards. It's kind of our group standards too. Like it's just like to be a part of this community. We're for each other. We want to see each other win. And I just love seeing all the diverse people from different backgrounds and ages all around the world that are just here to learn, to grow, and that are purpose driven to use YouTube to not just make a living, but to make a difference. And so it's so cool to see people in the circle group. And thank you for being engaged. It's that's been amazing. But with that, let me kick it to the next item on the run of show, which Melissa will tell me what that is right now.
Yes, we are going to dive right into Sean's quick tip of the day. But I do. Oh wait, I lost my one session. After hours auto assist. I lost your comment, but you said I posted my first video and first shorts on YouTube. I love bump bump is what you said. Bump bump. Congratulations, after hours auto assist. Okay, with that, I could celebrate with you guys all day for everything you've been doing so far. But we are going to jump into today's quick tip, and right after the quick tip, Sean is actually going to talk about what the giveaway is for today because as you guys know, it's a really big one today. Personally, the most exciting giveaway that we have. And so we're going to go through that, and then I'll let you know how to enter after Sean walks you through what that looks like today. And as always, stick around because throughout these sessions, we are going to be doing multiple different giveaways. And if you guys haven't gone to winthisTech.com yet, you know there's a ton of different ways that you can enter to set yourself up to win an entire YouTube studio, including a brand new Sony camera. So this is just a hint that you want to look at the banner I just put on the screen. I'm trying to be a little bit more subtle as every single day goes down, and head to winthisTech.com. And with that, I'll turn things over to Sean.
Awesome. All right. So here is day number 2. Quick tip number 2. We are doing our free 5-day YouTube 1K challenge. Today's main session is on 10 things we wish we knew when we were starting YouTube with 2 special guests. But every day we do a quick tip. And here's the quick tip, day number 2. Use the AVLS checklist to make better videos, even if you don't have a fancy camera or equipment. So here's the AVLS checklist. It stands for audio, video, lighting, stabilization. So I love this checklist because even if you just have a smartphone, which we're living in such a cool world that with a smartphone, you can start creating content. You basically can start building an online business, start building a creator business on YouTube with just a smartphone. And your smartphone records audio. It has video capabilities. Now, lighting could be lighting that you invest in or just lighting from a window, being thoughtful about lighting in your house and lighting that you have, you know, in the countdown. I talk about grab that flashlight. That's kind of a little random thing to say, but it's like finding a light source. And then stabilization. We've probably all seen a video that maybe made you a little nauseous because the person was kind of shaky and before camera stabilization was very good. You know, thinking about, okay, do I get a tripod? Do I get a gimbal of some sort or a selfie stick of some sort if I'm walking around and vlogging? And so thinking through these things, you can think through these things in a paid scenario, but you also can think through these things for free. For example, if all you use is your smartphone, if you record in a bedroom with carpet on the floor with lower ceilings and you're pretty close to your phone, the audio will be great. Whereas also if you're on your phone and you're standing at the airport terminal or you're standing at the train station and there's noise all around, the audio will not be great. So being thoughtful about the environment and background noise can mean that you don't need a fancy microphone to have good audio. Then, of course, video, there's different settings you could go into in your phone. You know, right now, your phone might be, I can just speak to iPhone users, open up your camera, hit the camera, go to video, and then go to the upper right-hand corner where it says HD 30 and tap the HD, and it might flip to 4K. and you can go into your settings and have it auto be on 4K. That's changed somebody's life. You're like, well, I didn't even know there's a whole nother level of clarity and resolution that was just one button tap away. Let me know in the comments if you just discovered that. And then you could type 30 frames a second, 60 frames a second. I know it's text speak, but just, okay, what's the video settings? And a lot of times we don't even have the best settings on our cameras or our phone. And then lighting, can I shoot during the daylight or get outside? And then stabilization. And I have a couple. We're not going to get straight into tech here and like into the details of this, but these are like a basic checklist for AVLS. One is setting up your what we call battle station. And I hope you're doing your tagging official Think Media, hashtag grow with video, selfies at your battle station. We think about the place where you're doing the work, you're creating the content. It's where the sausage gets made. Home office. It's where I'm at right now. I got a camera, I got a mic. And so on screen here, you're seeing like a $50 webcam from Logitech. You can write this product name down. It's called the Samson Q2U. Samson, Samson Q2U. Oh man, this microphone's maybe $70, and you can level up and start sounding a lot better in a situation like this. And most of us we've already been on Zoom meetings. We worked remote during the pandemic or whatever. So you're used to having this. And then you could get a light that maybe you attach to your desk, and you can see the webcam on top of the computer there. And so when you just think, okay, let me get my AVLS upgraded for setting up a video and live streaming setup. You could live stream like we're doing right here. We're using StreamYard, and we'll shoot you some links and make sure you're getting emails and stuff. We'll post the stuff in the circle group of some of the tools we use. But you could create content just like this if you're comfortable going live, or record like this and then edit talking head at that kind of desk setup. Now, the second setup I want to, if we're starting basic, would just be accessorizing your smartphone. So again, AVLS on the right side of the screen, you can see these lavalier mics that plug into your smartphone, into your USB-C port or your Lightning port, or whatever the newest port is on the iPhone. Why are they always changing the ports? Like, how many cables? I was just thinking about this. Like, next to the drawer of my bed, like, there's like old USB, the micro USB, there's USB-C, there's Lightning, and I can never find the right cable. I don't know if the struggle is real or it's just me. I was like trying to like plug in these lights. I'm like, oh, that's USB-C. I need that cable. My electric toothbrush uses like the old school one. I had to order a new one on Amazon. There's probably 7 cables in my house, but I can't find them. So I'm ordering a new one. Can anyone say hashtag the struggle is real? Can we all just agree that universally there should be one cable on planet Earth and that we could leave the madness behind? Okay, that's just rants. I'm annoyed and triggered. Okay, so audio. You can plug it in your smartphone. There's some good wireless microphones now, around $20 on Amazon, that just plug right in your smartphone. Video, your phone. Stabilization. You can get a little tripod like this, shoot vertical, flip it horizontal, and then lighting. A softbox lighting kit like this, under $50. We have a couple videos on that. So again, I know you probably have a million questions about this. Make sure you're in the circle group, and we'll share some of the best videos that we have and some of the best tech resources. But the point is that you have the AVLS checklist. And I wanted to put this picture here because one of the best ways to hack light on a budget is film with the window pointing at you during the daytime, with the rest of your room behind you. And now you could just put your phone on some shoe boxes, get close enough that the audio is good, hit record, let the window be your light, and you are off to the races, simply because you thought through the checklist of AVLS. And so I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any insights there, any questions, of course, the Think team. And I want to tell you about this giveaway, but do me a favor and type AVLS, all caps, in the chat if you got some value right there. Hot Flash Mama podcast. Even better is a ring light. Ring lights are awesome. They can also be kind of flattering, and they put a cool reflection in your eye, which pop in one of the things that is nice to do. See, if I covered this, I lose maybe the intimacy. But if you have, one of the things to look for is the little reflection of the light in the eye. It makes a little sparkle. And if you can create that, cut through the shadows, make sure you're subscribed to the main Think Media channel for more help on that. But let's just talk about today's giveaway. And so Melissa will let us know how you can enter in just a second. But today I'm super excited because we're actually going to be giving away a lifetime membership to our online course and YouTube training program called Video Ranking Academy. And so one lucky winner today is going to get a full lifetime membership to this program. This is the exact program that you met Larry yesterday during the session. I was telling a little bit of his story. This is Bobby, who has a political conservative news channel, just crossed 100,000 subscribers. And so many of our students applying this information have gotten the silver play button. And remember, we talk about this a lot. You can have so much success without having a large channel. In fact, leaking one of the tips today that I heard from one of our guests is that more subscribers doesn't necessarily mean more money. So the only metric for success is not size. There's a lot of different ways and business models you can have, but it's been cool to see the different stories of impact. And so you know exactly what you're going to win today. Let me tell you a little bit about Video Ranking Academy. It's the premier online group coaching program and community. And it's really the proven system for ranking your videos, growing your audience, and then turning those views into income with YouTube. And so we learned about ranking yesterday. How do you get your videos to show up in the top search results like this? And how do you get your videos to be suggested by YouTube for weeks, months, and years to come? But people wonder, does it still work? Because like Sean, you've been doing this a long time. Does this still work in 2024? And does this work for someone who's just starting out and that doesn't have any experience? And the answer is yes. This is Joey, Dr. Eye Health. He grew from like 0 to over 500,000 subscribers now. It's pretty wild. Didn't know the tech, didn't know cameras, all those same questions. Didn't know AVLS yet. This is Andrew doing real estate, Heather doing homeschool, Jennifer doing sewing tips and DIY stuff, Benji doing cooking, plants, and Lucia doing plants. This is Becky Park on Poshmark. So she has a reselling channel like Plato's Closet, thrifting. And after a year inside of Video Ranking Academy, she grew almost 9,000 subscribers and almost 1 million views. This is Sandra. After joining VRA, she generated 6 million views on her channel. But the reason I love her story is because all her videos are in Spanish and all the titles of her videos are in Spanish and she speaks Spanish, because people wonder, does this work in other languages? And the answer is yes. So what this is really a system. And we'll be talking about that later this week. But you'll get our full 7-step success system, the workbook that is included. There's a private Facebook group that we do stuff in all month long, and where our faculty, the Think faculty, and really cool team other members from the course. So you have answers to questions, and it's a powerful program. It's been cool to see all the different impact that this program's been making. And the retail price of VRA is $3,997. And so that we sell this publicly on our website, SeanCannell.com. So just so you could be aware of what you're winning today, this is a very valuable program. I was at a business event in Miami, and a business owner came up to me and said, Sean, I bought your program. It's the best $4,000 I've ever invested in myself. And so just to think about, one lucky winner today is going to be winning access to Video Ranking Academy. So let me welcome Mel before we get into our main session for any last announcements and how do we enter to win.
Yes. So for everybody's clarity, I saw, let's see, Blanca Land asking, wait, so VRA is the giveaway for today. You get VRA for free. Yes, you get VRA. One person is going to get to join the VRA community for free today. It's not actually even just this course. You get all the information and strategy inside of Video Ranking Academy, that whole entire course that we have online. But you're also going to get access to our community group online. If you like the way that this community feels, VRA is even like deeper and more involved, and it's consistent. So you're going to get access to all of those things today. And so in order to enter to win, some of you guys have already been doing this. I think it's just like the natural question that's been coming up. All you have to do is let me know in the chat right now, why do you want to be a part of Video Ranking Academy? I want to hear why this would be important to you. Why do you think that you need to join Video Ranking Academy? And then I'm going to be selecting one person who answers that question in the chat, and you're going to get to join VRA. But I'm actually not going to make that announcement until after today's session. I do want to get right into the content, and I want to give you guys plenty of time. I know this is a huge giveaway and you might want to think about it for a second. And so I want to give you guys time to do that. And so we will announce the winner after today's session closes out. And then, of course, we're going to do a couple other giveaways as well. I saw a lot of you guys mentioning the tech that you need in the chat right now. So I'm going to do some more tech giveaways after this as well at the end of today's session, so we can take care of some of your guys' tech needs. So all of those giveaways are going to be coming up. Let me know again in the chat, why do you want to be a part of VRA? Why do you need Video Ranking Academy? And then again, we'll do that giveaway towards the end of the session today. Couple more things before we officially get started. If you are watching on Circle right now and you haven't clicked through to open the video up on YouTube, you might be confused. You might be saying, what chat? How do I enter to win? So don't worry. All you need to do is hover over the video in Circle. It'll say watch on YouTube. Click on that and it'll open up the video over on YouTube and you'll be able to chat with us. And so that is how you're going to join us in the chat, not only to just enter the giveaways, but also get to hang out with us throughout the rest of this session. And if you are confused about how to know what's happening inside of the challenge, I just got 3 really quick things for you. I promise I'll go through them so fast, okay? Firstly, you need to be getting our emails. Go to your email browser right now. Type in Think Media, check spam, junk, your promotions tab. And then when you do see an email from Think Media, open it up, like literally right now, open it up and respond to that email with the words got it, little exclamation point, little happy face, whatever you want, the words got it. And that'll let us know that you are all good to go. Secondly is we have text messages that we're also sending out. We're really doing our best to try to get you information about what's happening in the challenge. So text the word challenge to the number that's on the screen right now. That'll get you like instant updates about what's happening. This is available for Canada, Mexico, and the US. I'm sorry for everybody outside of that. Everyone outside of those 3 places, make sure you're getting our emails. And thirdly, if you haven't joined the Circle group yet, you really want to join that Circle group because tons of stuff's happening over there. And so our team will drop the link to join the Circle group right now in the chat. I promised I'd go through it quickly. Those are the 3 ways you can know what's happening inside this challenge. We're going to do the giveaways afterwards. Be letting me know why you would like to win Video Ranking Academy today. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to Sean for the main session.
Thank you, Melissa. All right, we're going to get straight into it. Grab your journal, grab your pencil pouch, get ready to take notes because we're talking about 10 things we wish we knew before we started YouTube. We have 2 special guests today, and we want to ask the question, man, how can we go faster? How can we avoid some of the pain and mistakes that are so common when it comes to starting a brand new YouTube channel or reviving your channel that maybe you did a few years ago and you're getting back to it, or growing your existing channel? And so today I want to introduce our special guest. We're going to start with Rena from Thrive After 45. Welcome, Rena, to the challenge.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
So tell us a little bit about your channel, and I'm going to put it up on screen so people can see the content you're creating. When did it start? What have you been up to? And what is it that you do?
Well, I hope you're not going to show the oldest videos because it's really embarrassing how I started. I'm a certified career life coach, and I started that back in 2009. So in about 2010 or 11 or maybe 12, I can't even remember, somewhere around there. So when I started doing videos, and it took so much time. My husband was my techie. We would do it at night, and I burnt out after, I don't know, maybe 12 videos. And then I would try again and do another, 1 each week. And it was just too all consuming at the same time as raising 3 kids and doing, life coaching my clients and trying to run a household and all that kind of thing. And so I let it go. I put it away. And then 2020 happened, lockdown. And I thought, okay, I really should get it going. A lot of people are at home watching videos right now. And so I went back and I realized, holy cow, so much has changed. So much has changed in the world of YouTube. I need to learn quickly. But I started doing it and I really loved it. But I knew there was a lot more I wanted to learn. So I started watching, for example, Think Media videos on YouTube and learning what I didn't know. And I just dove right back in. And anyway, I was about to say what some of my biggest first mistakes are, but I'm going to wait for your next question.
Yes, absolutely. And so it's great to hear and great to learn a little bit about making this sustainable and experiencing what burnout that could happen if we don't have the right routines and systems. And so we'll get into the mistakes and your 10 points, but I want to welcome our second guest today, Christina Patterson from
Everybody.
Beloved Women with Christina Patterson. How is it going?
Going great. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so grateful to have you back on. I know you've been a part of a few different things that we've done. So tell us a little bit about when you started YouTube. What is it you're doing on YouTube?
Yeah, I started I posted my first video in 2013. I originally was just blogging, and I was doing like short devotionals for Christian women, and that was important for me because I was needing to be in the Bible a lot because I was a new mom and I had no idea what I was doing, and I was a new stay-at-home mom as well. And so I was just led to share what I was learning online, and I started off blogging, and then I started off with a podcast, and then I felt led to start a YouTube channel. And at that time, not many Christians were on YouTube. This was even before like pastors weren't even putting their sermons on YouTube in this year. And so I was very hesitant, but the Lord really pressed it on my heart to just go ahead and do it. And so I did. And much like Rena, there were some times where I had to kind of sit out a little bit because I'm raising a family at the same time and trying to keep a healthy marriage and all those things. And so it probably wasn't until about 2016 where I was able to really get a little bit more consistent and just grow from there. But I've made a lot of mistakes and had a lot of wins along the way. And it's been one of the most fun journeys that I've done in my life.
Oh man, your story is so inspiring. And what we have an opportunity today, of course, is learn wisdom from years of experience, from the ups and the downs, and brings us to tip number one, point number one, and that is start with the right mindset. Start with the right mindset. So we're going to start with you, Christina. You said YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint, and you can kind of expand on this. But what's kind of the mindset that you think we should have going into it? If I knew now what knew then what I know now, this would be my mindset when starting out.
Yeah, I think I don't know why I thought this, but because I guess you see other people sometimes they go viral and they just start on YouTube, and next thing you know, they have their silver play button in the first year, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do that too, and that's great. That's not my story. It's been a climb, but because I chose a topic that I'm passionate about, I was going to be talking about the Bible regardless if I was on YouTube or not. But I wish I could have probably saved myself a lot of frustration if I would have taken on the mindset that like this is something that you're going to be working on for the long term, so you don't need to rush anything. You can take your time, grow slow, grow your roots first so that you're ready when those numbers do come. And that's one thing, honestly, that I am grateful for. I am grateful that we've never gone viral. I'm grateful that we didn't have some sort of like breakout year that we couldn't handle because I probably couldn't have in that season. If I would have gotten 1 million subscribers in that first year, I don't think I would have been ready for it. And now I have that mindset to know like I'm actually really content where we are. And I appreciate the community that we have to serve, and they've just been such a blessing to me and hopefully I to them. And so just having that mindset that I'm in this for the long run, I'm here to serve, and I appreciate whatever I have or whatever that audience looks like in whatever particular season that I'm in.
Man, I love that story. And what's wild too is I mean, you have almost 2 million views, 58,000 subscribers. And on the one hand, you have all this wisdom and you've been doing this for a long time. But
Yeah.
would you say this is kind of how I feel? Like, I feel like I'm an OG, I've been doing this, but I also still feel like a beginner. Like I'm just getting started. Kind of the mentality of to anything you build up on YouTube, then you're building from that level next, and you're building with wisdom as you go forward.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Just being like looking at it like a race, like I'm always going to be running, like I'm always going to be learning. There's always going to be something new. Now, you got like podcasts coming up, shorts, AI, all these things are changing. And so you really want to have a love for it so that you can stay in for the long run. Like if you're just like, oh, I just want to get 100,000 subscribers, I just want to grow really fast, that's all I want. Those are the people that usually end up quitting because that's not really what it's all about. But if you really have a heart for a message that you want to share, that is going to change people's lives, and then you'll be willing to learn, to grow, and to take your time. There's no rush.
So good. And we're going to go to Rena now. And on number one, start with the right mindset. One of the things that you said, because Christina was talking about, she knew that she wanted to talk about the Bible from day one. She would have done it anyways. But one of the things you mentioned was, don't worry about picking a specific niche right away. Pick 3 or 4 things and see which resonates with most viewers. So talk about your journey of figuring out your brand and anything else as it came to, man, this is the mindset I think it takes. If I was to start again, this is the advice I would give people.
Okay, yeah. Well, I agree with Christina so much that mindset is really everything. And also what she said about in her case, she's going to talk about the Bible and whether she's doing YouTube or not. I being a life coach, I love talking about personal development, whether I'm doing a YouTube video or not. And so when I first started out, I was just doing personal development. And then when I came back in 2020, irregardless of my inconsistency, I started talking about different topics that I noticed in my coaching world that my clients really cared about. And I decided to take the pressure off myself, because we all have a tendency, speaking about mindset, we all have a tendency to go on YouTube and look at the people who are so huge, and we forget, well, Sean Kennel's been doing this for, oh my gosh, so many years. I should compare myself now to his year 2 or whatever, that kind of thing. And so I have to remind myself to have that mindset. Otherwise, I compare myself to people like Mel Robbins. And what's that going to do? Make me feel terrible about myself. And that's not going to help in the video. It's not going to help the audience feel a connection with me if I'm feeling all insecure. So I really want to be myself. I would hope that you all really, and I'd encourage you all to just be yourself. And I know we hear that all the time, but it's really true. How do you act and speak when you're talking to some of your best friends or just your day-to-day acquaintances? I heard a saying that really helped me with this, and that is, the acronym is HOPE, and maybe you've heard it. Help one person every day. So instead of the pressure that I feel when I compare myself to other people who are on year 15 or 16 or even 3, but this is their whole life, instead of doing that, if I can, what I'm saying today and the knowledge I'm trying to share, if that can help one person every day, that's only 7 views in a week. But you know what? You could really change someone's life. So that helps take the pressure off. And about your topic, about your question specifically about start out with 3 or 4, I started, as I said, talking about different things that some of my clients in my career want to talk about. So I started talking about 3 or 4 of those, and I didn't know which was going to resonate with YouTube watchers out there. And I just talked about those 3 or 4 niches, micro niches, I guess you'd call them. One of them happened to be menopause and perimenopause, because a lot of women starting in their mid-40s-ish, sometimes it's earlier, start to go through a lot of different things, and they have no idea that it is just shifting hormones, because a lot of it's mindset and mental as well as the physical. So I did a video on how I was so frustrated that we don't get more support out there in the medical world. And a lot of it was just my own saying, hey, did you know there are actually 30, perimenopause symptoms out there? I had no idea. And I made it a little funny and a little silly, but also serious. That one just, boom, for me, just took off. And I realized, wow, there is really a need for women to feel heard about this topic. And my comments were going crazy. So do I want to just talk about that niche the rest of my YouTube life? No. But it was very helpful when you just narrow down to 3 or 4 and figure out what resonates with people.
Such a powerful tip. And I think, again, there's kind of 2 ways, if you're watching this, that you may be starting. The first one is I get it. I know what my topic is. It's super obvious, and that's what I'm going to build on. Or you might go, I kind of have a foggy, I kind of have a North Star. And I love that analogy. Like, hey, I kind of have a direction. That's the direction I want to head. But Rena's saying, then I maybe experiment with a few different topics that are aligned with that, see which ones resonate the most, and then double down on what's working. In our community, we always say success leaves clues, make part 2s. So eventually you put enough videos out there, some of them start to show some success, make the part 2 of that, but you can't do that until you take action, start, and you gotta, number 1, start with the right mindset, which brings us to number 2. You gotta start with what you have. So going back to Christina, you talked about like everything doesn't have to be pretty and perfect when you're getting started. Talk about starting with just whatever you have when it comes to your journey on YouTube.
Yeah, I know for me, I started with just my webcam. It was grainy, it was not clear, and the microphone on that webcam, I couldn't get the lighting from outside because I had the time that I had to work with was at night or during nap time. Nap time was too short because my kids were young. So it was at nighttime. And so I would just set up like a lamp or something in front of me and try to get as much light as I could. And so the quality wasn't necessarily the best, but I got started. And that is the most important step for anybody interested in YouTube, because you can't get anywhere unless you start. And it was that process that taught me, okay, well, I don't like this light lamp, so let's see how we can move some things around. But I wouldn't know that unless I tried it first. Or, okay, well, maybe I should try, an external mic that I can clip on or something like that. Or get a $20 mic on Amazon and see how that works. And can I put it into my phone? And, so it was very much a learning process, just starting with what I had. And all of us, if you have a smartphone, you're doing better than I was back then, because smartphones back then, you couldn't really record a YouTube video on them like you can today. And it could be in like 4K. Like, so there's like no reason to not start with what you have, because we have so much at our just in our hands today that we didn't have like years ago. And so this is one of the best times to get started, I would say.
Love that. And Rena, you talked about shooting video with your phone is fine then you can upgrade your camera. So talk a little bit about some of your early videos versus now, because we put a couple of them on screen. You got the depth of the blurry background. You got the nice living room, the nice lighting. So it's all dialed in now, but where you are now is not where you started. So talk about your journey.
Oh my gosh. Well, it started out, as I said earlier, I needed my husband to help me with all the tech because I'm not techie at all. So way back then, he even built me a teleprompter somehow, and he used the camera and he moved the teleprompter. And then we realized, okay, either we're going to continue doing this, staying up till 1:00 in the morning, or we're not going to, oh my God, that's embarrassing. Or we're not going to stay married because it was just too much work late at night after the kids went to bed. Yeah, I'm standing in front of a white background there, obviously. And that's one of the reasons why I left YouTube. But when I came back, I realized, okay, I need to be able to do this by myself. And so I continued. Since I had to do it by myself, I had to be simple because I didn't want to have to rely on him to help me. So I just used my phone. Then I upgraded to a camera. But I just thought, if you put everything on auto, it's fine. It'll work. And I had no idea why it sometimes was really grainy and sometimes was way too bright and sometimes the sound was terrible. Then I got a different camera and the same thing happened. So I'm like, okay, even on auto, I need to learn the foundations of how this works. So I love all the people at Think Media. No, they're not asking me to say that, but so I just Google Think Media, and then the kind of camera that I'm using now. And I did this with the other kind of camera too. And it took me a long time, but I went through Omar's like 10-minute video because I had to stop, go back. And I learned how to program this baby so that I can have it on manual and make it look cool without wrecking my videos with way too bright or whatever. But you know what? That brings me to, I just want to say, don't worry about it if it's too bright or if the sound is terrible. I still have those videos out there and they're published. But I love what Sean says is 1% better every time. And the only way you get better is to do it. I mean, someone can tell you how to swim. You could read books on how to swim. You can watch videos on how to swim. But until you actually get in the water and try it and do it over and over and over again, you're not going to learn how to swim. So it's the same thing with YouTube.
Such encouraging tips. And that brings us to number 3 as well. So we want to start with what we have. And then number 3, improve your videos over time. And what is cool to see is, again, if you look up these channels, you can see that today the channel looks, on both cases, both Christina, both Rena, there's B-roll in here. It's all fancy. It's all crispy now. There's a moving shot. There's all kinds of like different dynamics, but it's get 1% better with every upload. And I love that they were both talking about, it's not about comparison, right? It's your race, your pace. It's just starting with what you have. Number 3, improving your videos over time. And then number 4 is be yourself. And so we're going to go back to Rena here. And you talked about don't try and copy someone who's popular on YouTube. Break down some of your thoughts on this point.
Well, we hear it all the time from other people, be yourself, be yourself. But, when you're learning, especially as a beginner and in any realm of life, right, you're going to look to other people who are good at what you want to be good at too. And you think, oh, especially in YouTube, you tend to think, oh, well, that's a really cool way to do it. Or they talk really fast, or they shoot it like this, or they wear these kinds of clothes or funky bright earrings. So I should do that too. But I've tried it. I'm embarrassed to tell you. I wasn't like, okay, I'm going to do exactly what they're doing. But I thought, oh, I'm going to try and be this way or whatever. And it just doesn't come across right. It's not you. And so as a life coach, I have an exercise that I really love giving my clients, and it really works with this too. So I'm going to tell you right now. Go ask. The exercise officially is a little bit longer, more complicated, but I'm going to give you the simple version. Go to, say, 3 to 5 of your friends who know you in different capacities, whether you know them from work or it's your bestie from childhood, or it could be your mom, and all 3 of those. And say, what are 3 to 5 unique qualities that you value about me? And yeah, you're asking for a compliment, because if they value it, it's going to be a good thing, a positive thing, right? But they will probably tell you things that you didn't necessarily think about yourself. For example, when I asked that question, they told me, I love your energy. When you talk, you have just so much energy, and it fills me with that energy. So then I started doing that in my YouTube videos, trying to be more myself. And then that's when I really started to see more views, oddly enough.
Such an encouraging practice. And I put it on screen, this action item. Go to 3 to 5 friends, family members, and ask them, what are some of the things that they value about you? A lot of times we don't see certain aspects about ourselves, and we could have a lot of critical self-talk, or we're just sort of blind to things we take for granted because it's the unique way that God has gifted us to shine, and then to double down on those. Everybody's brand's going to be a little bit different. So when like, I want to show up and be clear, or I want to show up and have wisdom shine through, or have love or empathy shine through, then you kind of are thinking about these distinctions. That's such a powerful exercise. And I want to stay on number 4 here just for a second with Christina regarding be yourself, and kind of go into anything you have to share on this. But I'm curious about this idea of finding your unique voice, and how long did it take? At least I know personally that as I started doing my first videos, I played one yesterday. Like early on, I kind of felt awkward. Maybe you pick up a style of other people, or you're just not fully into your zone. What's been like the journey of you maybe discovering, and how long does it take to sort of cultivate your online brand and voice and communication style? What was that journey like for you?
Yeah, and I just first of all love what Rena said and the advice she gave. That was like fire, because that's something I've actually done before, where I've asked people, okay, what do you think are some of my greatest qualities? And asked my mom too, and almost at my mom, my husband, my kids, my best friend, like people that are really close to me, and all of them in some way said you're like really organized, and so that comes through in how I structure my video scripts. So I like to know, what are my points? Do I have my intro written, all that or whatever. There was a time, Sean, where I felt really insecure about that, because I would see some people just get on YouTube and they would just go live and they would get off and that would be it. And I was like, wow, like I don't do that, you know? But when I did that exercise, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, this is my personality. This is my personal superpower, you know, because some people can't do that what I do as far as being more structured. And so what it taught me was to just kind of embrace that about myself, you know? And if you're a type of person and you can just turn the camera on and you can just go and flow and that's you, there are a lot of people like that, you know, you don't have to feel like, oh, well, maybe I need to be more structured or maybe I need to write out my scripts or whatever your process is. But for me, it took just trying different things and saying, I actually really feel like my most authentic self and I'm being real when I'm doing it this way. And I actually enjoy doing it this way better. And so trying different things. But yeah, I love what Rena said. And just getting that feedback was like, oh, you know what? That is me. That is kind of my style. I am going to give you 5 points in a video. And that's kind of what I do. And just kind of embracing that as a good thing as opposed to comparing myself to other people and embracing their style as a good thing for them, you know. And so that's been like the big thing for me as far as like just be you.
So number 4 is be yourself. And number 5, we're going to stick with Christina here, is more subscribers does not
Yeah.
equal more money. Christina, you
Yeah.
shared this tip as we were doing our pre-conversation, and break this one down of the lessons you've learned.
Yeah, you know, I started off with YouTube and I was just thinking, you know, I just want to build this community of women and we share this common interest of studying the Bible and growing in faith together. And so we've been able to do that. But as you grow as an organization, you do need income. And so I thought, okay, well, if we get more subscribers, if we get more eyes, you know, on the channel, we'll get more AdSense. We'll somehow get more money, you know? And that is not the case. Having a strategy to grow your channel is different than necessarily a strategy to grow your income, although the two work very well together. So you do want to have a strategy to grow your channel in combination, thinking about how can I also grow my income? How can I leverage the growth of the channel to grow my income so that I can support my organization or my business or pay myself for the time that I'm investing into this channel? Because YouTube AdSense, generally, most people aren't going to generate enough money from YouTube AdSense in order to like pay the bill. So like we do get AdSense money. It might cover one bill or two maybe for, you know, our organization, but it's not enough, you know. And so, you know, we have donations and then we have our membership, which is our primary offer that we have, and that is what is really bringing the income to help us to support the work that we're doing. And we leverage YouTube. Most of, you know, the leads that we get are from YouTube, right? But we have to actually have an offer there. So I think it's important to have a presence where people can be aware of who you are, but actually have an offer that helps people in a certain way, that's best for them, and be able to bridge the two together. And YouTube is the best source for us to be able to do that, and probably for you as well.
Man, dropping bombs, and we're already halfway through our 10 tips. But a quick recap is start with the right mindset. Number 1. Number 2, start with what you have. Number 3, improve your videos over time. Number 4, be yourself. And number 5, more subscribers does not equal more money. And as a reminder, do not miss session number 5, because this Friday we're going to be going tactically, I believe, into about 8 different kind of business models and ways of earning money on YouTube. It's the monetization session. 3 and 4 is going to be amazing. They're all going to be good. And so I hope you're getting value so far. But session 5, we're going to be talking more about some of those monetization opportunities. But tip number 6 for this session is find your rhythm. I can't wait to hear from Rena here. You touched on it. You know, the real cost and weight or challenge that if you don't have a good schedule or some of the things you learn, it can lead to burnout or lead to fatigue. And I'm sure, I know our community watching this right now is probably thinking about, wow, it kind of feels like an uphill battle. Like there's gonna be a lot of work to do. And so a lot of things to learn. So talk about finding a rhythm in the different seasons of life that you've learned on your journey.
Sean, I'm still trying to find my rhythm. I mean, you know, it's no fun to look back and have any regrets. So I'm trying to, let's go back to number one, think about mindset for a second. I'm trying to change my mindset on that too, because when I look back and see that I basically quit YouTube in 2013 or 14 or something, I have huge regrets. Like, what if I'd kept going? But I had not found a system, tech-wise or time-wise, that would allow me to keep going. So that's why I dropped it. And when I came back in 2020, that was a weird time for all of us, right? For me, a lot of people found they had a lot more time. I had less time because suddenly I had 3 kids learning at home and they all needed my help too. Some of you watching might be able to relate to that. And so I had less time to do videos, but I started doing it. But I had all these expectations. Oh, I have to do one a week. I have to do one a week. So I would do that, as I said before, for like 8 weeks in a row. And then I'd be like, one of my kids really needed me and something big was going on. And so I wouldn't get to it. And then I'd feel bad about myself. And then I'd finally get to it again, maybe 3 months, 4 months later. So if you look back, well, don't do this. But if you look back at the history of my videos, it's very inconsistent. And I definitely think that has hurt my growth. So figure out tech-wise what you can do realistically, time-wise what you can do realistically. And my advice also, as maybe someone who's on the older end of some of you all out there doing YouTube, relationships matter. Relationship with yourself and with your spouse, if you have one, and with your kids. Don't let that go for the sake of YouTube. Well, do what you want. It's your life. But that's what I think people lose sight of, is you don't want to let the rest of your life just go in order to fulfill your passion. Even though it's your passion, that's great. But sit down and realistically look at all the hours in a given week. And for the next 3 months, let's just say, because it's easier to break things down, look at each week and say, how much realistically do I have and do I want to spend toward my passion of creating videos? And how much do I really want to be able to be there for my family or whatever else is important for you? Just keep it in perspective.
So much wisdom and powerful tips. By the way, session 4 on Thursday, we have 2 more special guests that are going to be talking about this. How do you do YouTube with a busy schedule? How do you create a 5-hour YouTube work week? How do you learn some of those things? So we're going to be going super deep into finding a rhythm that works for you. And so more to come on that. But I want to pass this same question to Christina. You said something that this is one of my most, it kind of shook me the way you said it. You said bigger is not always better.
Yeah.
And stay focused on peace and purpose. That is such a counterculture message right now. And it feels like everybody is just telling us that just bigger, viral, and sacrifice everything. And that's all that matters. Break this down. And I'm ready to hear a word, because when I felt it, I was like, man, that's powerful. And so expand that a little bit as you've maybe tried to find your rhythm and find the vision for your channel.
Yeah. One of the ministry leaders that I've had the opportunity to work with once said, she said, people over projects. And so when I think about my purpose, I'm on YouTube. I want to get 100,000 subscribers. I want that play button, but more than that, I want to be there for my kids. And it's interesting because YouTube has afforded me the flexibility to do that, but there has to be balance, because it can be your friend or your enemy depending on how much you feel like you need to put into it. And so the other day, actually, I was telling my son that his teacher emailed me saying, there's an opportunity for you to come in for something, for a class or something they had going on. And I was like, yeah, I'll be there, because I try to show up and be present at school as much as I can. And I'm fortunate to be able to do that because I can work from home, and YouTube, thanks very much to YouTube. And I remember telling my son, hey, I saw you have this thing on Thursday. And right before I was about to say, I'll be there, he said, oh no, mommy, I want daddy to come. You always come. And I was like, I was a little offended, but I was also kind of like proud, because I was like, yeah, mommy's always there. You can expect mommy to be able to show up, and I want my kids to know that mommy's going to be there, and so I don't want the work that I'm doing on YouTube to ever get in the way of that. And so, very much like Rena has said, there have been seasons where I've had to put it down, you know, and I feel that ache like, oh my gosh, I'm losing subscribers. I don't want to grow, you know, but I know that, you know, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I know what's most important in the seeds that I need to be planning now into these 2 kids and this marriage that the Lord has entrusted me to. That's number one. But I'm always amazed because when I do have seasons where I might need to take off or I might need to skip a week or something like that, I still get views. I'm still getting views. We're still getting subscribers. And this is the beauty of YouTube. And this is why I'm like, join BRA, learn how to rank your videos, because while I'm at the doctor's office because my son has the flu, someone watched a YouTube video and I made a few sales and I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? Because of work that I've done. So even though, you know, sometimes it can be a challenge to try to figure out what your flow is, and to try to get in a consistent flow, like you put in that work up front and it pays off in the end. So, you know, no, have I posted a video every single week since 2013? No, but I've done a little bit at a time and I have hundreds of videos up that are working for me when I'm with my family. And I I don't know. I think that says enough for in itself.
Oh man, it gets me so pumped because
Yeah.
you got that vision of how powerful a ranked video is. A ranked
Yeah.
video allows you to actually create more rhythm. It gives you that more freedom. Not easy to learn the skill, and not every video you create ranks, but as you build up that library, we were, I think, on VIP Q&A yesterday, we were talking about how a ranked video can work for you when you're on vacation, and it
Yep.
starts to feel really good if you're hanging with your kids or you're taking a nap, you're just doing some
Yes.
self-care, just trying to recover, and you're like, okay, man, I have a few videos out there that are still getting views, still building for me.
Yep.
And so you can kind of get off that social media treadmill. That's why YouTube really has an advantage over other platforms, which we like the other platforms, but none of them give you the same opportunity as YouTube. They're a social media treadmill. You always got to post, fill the feed, more Instagram reels, more this, more that. And YouTube's going to take work as well, but it's the only platform that creates leverage, meaning once you got the videos out there, like Christina's saying, once you've got that library of videos, you can get views when you're not working, which brings us to number 7, which is focus on building community. And we're actually going to go back to Christina and then to kind of a bonus point on this one as well that I'll let you know with Rena in just a second. But Christina said you're not just building a channel, you're building a community. Break that down.
Yeah, because we can look at it and say, oh, I have 2 subscribers or I have 100 subscribers. You know, you're looking at the number and like, these are people. These are souls. These are people that are coming to you because they need some sort of help. They're trying to find a solution to some sort of problem that they're struggling with. And so I think it's really important for us to have that mindset, is that like, I'm not just building a channel with like numbers on it. Like, these are actual real people. And for me, it always hits home when, you know, I post a video and I don't know how, you don't know how it's going to go. Not everybody comments, not everybody replies, but when they do, and they're like, man, I was struggling with this and this video gave me hope to keep going. And you're like, okay, this is the real work of being on YouTube. It's building a community. And even the other day, there was someone that commented on a video, and they had lost someone that was really close to them. And I said, hey, I replied to her comment, and would just say, I'm so sorry for your loss. And I just put out there, hey, can anybody else that's reading this join me in praying for our sister here? And there were so many comments under that. And so it was just like, wow, this is the power that YouTube has to truly build a community. And in today's day and age, I feel like that is so important because a lot of people are lost and lonely and isolated. And we have an opportunity in a very small way to help them not feel so alone and feel a part of something.
That gave me chills, and it makes me think. Yesterday we asked this question, and I'll ask it again. 1K challenge. Who is waiting for you to show up and take your goals seriously? You know, all of our channels aren't going to be the same size, but when you think about on the other side of posting videos and building a channel, like, lives could be impacted and changed, and maybe just entertained, right? Maybe just brought a little joy at the end of a stressful day, maybe educated to solve a problem that they're stuck on and they're frustrated by, or maybe who are going through hardship, loss, or grief. And now people can actually relate with that, pray for one another, and community can be built. And so I love this point of focus on building a community from Christina, but kind of a sub point here, it's not numbered, under number 7, is also connect with other creators and this idea of building a community. That's what we're doing with our VRA community, the 1K challenge. We do have the circle group. We shut it down afterwards, but this is a chance to meet people. How can you connect with other creators, like-minded people? Iron sharpens iron. And so Rena, you actually talked about looking for finding like 2 to 3 other creators that you can kind of talk with. Talk about your journey with that. How did you find them, and what did you learn from connecting with other creators and having that community, not just with viewers and subscribers, but also with kind of peers?
Yeah, absolutely. That's been huge. Really, really helped me. Very, very helpful for me. And I think for each of them as well. And I'll get to that in one sec. But just to add on to Christina, you just hit the nail on the head. Matter of fact, everything that you're saying today, I'm sitting here over here like, yep. Oh my gosh, she just said that so beautiful. I 100% agree with that. So thank you for sharing all of your beautiful lessons today, Christina. And I really agree with what you said about building the community outside with the viewers as well. And a very typical comment that I got on a few of different videos, one of them I loved was, "Thank you so much. You have helped me feel so validated." And that just goes with that. If you could just help one person every day, HOPE, like it makes you feel like what you're doing is worth it. It doesn't matter if you made 2 cents or $2,000 from that video. I've never made $2,000 from a video, not big enough quite yet, but to have that connection with people, even if they're a stranger, but it is just so powerful. It just really gives you the energy you want and need to keep going, even when you're having those difficult times learning what you need to learn. But back to Sean's question. To be honest, I have this group. We call it I'm in VRA. And then I actually decided to step it up a bit and sign up for a group called VRA Elite. I don't even know if you can be in that anymore or how Sean works that. I don't know. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I just know I'm in it. And so I was paired with these 3 other women who are phenomenal. And I don't know if they paired us randomly or what. Our channels are nothing alike. They're all different sizes. But for some reason, they put us together and we work really well. We meet every Thursday at the same time, every single week. And we meet for an hour and a half. And we just bring whatever questions we have to get help with from each other. And it is such a supportive group of women, only 3 others besides me. And then we chat endlessly behind the scenes throughout the week as well. Hey, can you look at this them now? What do you think of this? I'm also thinking about this one. And they'll say, oh, well, actually, I think that the person should be looking to the viewer, not away from the viewer. And I think your copy and your text, your words are too big on that thumbnail, or helping each other with titles, helping each other with when we're down or when we're on a high, or wins and losses. It's just probably the best support group I've ever been in my life.
Hey, Rena's talking. This guy's just in my office.
He's so cute.
You want to say hi? Hey, what's your name?
Hi.
What's your name?
Nisha Boy.
How old are you?
2.
You're not 2.
3.
You're 3. Yeah. Okay. Say bye-bye. Keep it going. Sorry to interrupt. He literally,
No,
I can't lock my door.
That's it. I really believe in if you can get a group of your own. I mean, some people call them masterminds, which has taken on a different word these days, but it started out, if you ever read Think and Grow Rich, they told the masterminds to come together and help each other and talk best practices and help cheer each other on. And because in my normal life, I don't know anybody, none of my friends that do YouTube at all. They don't, sometimes I feel all alone, So even just listening to Christina, I'm like, she's awesome. I got to connect with her and talk to her behind the scenes, because, you just meet all these cool people through YouTube, and it's even better if you can connect with each other behind the scenes and help each other out as much as possible.
So powerful. So focus on building a community. Your subscribers are real people. They're not just numbers. It's not just racking up views. Of course, how do we get views? But it's really, how do we make an impact? How do we change lives? And And then also build a community with other creators. It's a very powerful point from the famous book, Think and Grow Rich, having a mastermind, people you can bounce ideas off of. And she mentioned VRA Elite. That's such a cool story and encouraging to hear. It's kind of a new project that's been going for about 6 months. And if you're interested in that, we could probably tell you a little bit more over the next couple of days. But number 7 was focus on building a community, which brings us to number 8, which is invest in your knowledge and skills. And I'm going to go back to Rena here, because you talked about, if you're just dabbling, have fun with it. But if you're serious, invest. And so what have you learned about investing in your knowledge and skills?
Well, first of all, as I said, when I came back in 2020, and again, I was kind of dabbling then, I wasn't really committed, but I realized how much had changed in just those number of years since I'd been away from it, and how much I not had to learn, but wanted to learn. So sure, you can learn by watching videos, and a lot of people out there are amazing about telling us, giving us their free content online. Think Media is just one of many channels out there like that. But I think what really helps is if you really want to be serious, as I said, if you're just dabbling, just have fun with it. It's meant to be fun. If you're serious about growing your channel and taking your message to the masses, whether that's to make an income or just really as a way to increase your credibility and your visibility, if you're an author or a teacher or a doctor, YouTube is great for that kind of thing, and get people to know, like, and trust you. It's really important in any business that you have. So in that case, you're more serious. You want to increase your visibility and your credibility out there and let people get to know you more. It really helps to increase how much you know and learn from those who've done it before, who are successful. But I also believe, in addition, don't just go learn from anybody. Learn from people who not only have a great track record, but also ones whose values you resonate with. You can tell by how they say things, how they treat people. Do they get back to people in the comments? Do they, you get a vibe. So go with those people whose values you can align with. That's my advice anyway.
That's such great advice. And Christina, I want to just hear from you on anything you've learned about continuing to level up your knowledge and your skills and the learning curve of YouTube. I mean, prior to YouTube, we wear a lot of hats: design, title, camera, microphone. So what's been your journey of just investing yourself, investing your knowledge and your skills?
Yeah, well, I definitely agree with what Rena said as far as like investing in a program that the leadership aligns with your values. And that is why I did join VRA years ago. And I've actually went through the program twice, because you do want to constantly be growing your knowledge, growing your skills. We're always learning to continue to just get a little bit better each video. And so it's been like, when that VRA was honestly the first course or investment that I ever made online, apart from like traditional, like going to like college education. And by far it has paid me back times 10,000 plus, like crazy, because yes, I've had to learn a lot of lessons myself along the way, because my channel is very specific and unique, probably much like yours. But there were a lot of lessons I didn't have to learn, because I just learned from Sean and the mistakes that he made. And he was so willing to share. And so I just didn't do what he said don't do. And I did what he said do. And I was able to fast track my growth on YouTube. And so now, I want to grow my business. And so I invest in mentorship and courses and masterminds and things like that as well. Like I understand the process and the value of learning from someone else, so that you don't have to make all the mistakes yourself. And definitely highly recommend.
Such a powerful tip. Invest in yourself and your knowledge and your skills. And number 9 is try new things. Now, Christina, we're going to be coming back to you. You said be open to try new things, but also be smart and don't always be a skeptic. So I'm excited for you to unpack this a little bit, break down your thoughts.
And you know, Sean, I had to take my own advice
Mm.
because when like AI, all the stuff was coming out, oh, I was a big skeptic. I was like, what is this? What? No, I would never, right? And so then more of my friends and more of my business friends are like, oh, you got to get on ChatGPT. You got to try this. You can do this. You can do this. And so finally, I was like, all right, let me try this. And now I'm sold. Like if you look at some of my newest thumbnails, though the back, like the little specific backgrounds, that's AI generated. I just went into Dolly and said, can you create a war zone with pink and purple gradients? Like, where could I get an image like that from? You know, can you create a woman running with a Bible in her hand that's brown? Like, you know, I can't find that image anywhere. And so it's really helped me to like level up my thumbnails. Or if I'm like, I can put my YouTube script in and say, hey, can you generate, you know, um 5 Instagram captions from this script that's in the voice of the writer, you know. And so I still do my own writing because that I'm not, you know, I have to have my own voice, you know. But they're like, it's like AI has become like this assistant for me in my YouTube journey and my YouTube creation journey that has like helped a lot. And if I would have just stayed in that mindset, like, nope, not going to pay attention to it, you know, I would have still been like further back, you know, and not been able to do so much stuff. So like, look at that. Like,
So I just typed in your prompts.
yeah.
Can you
Well,
create
I
a
did a
woman
flat illustration. I said, draw. I usually do flat illustrations.
flat? That's but here's this is part of
Mhm.
ChatGPT. It's called Dolly, DALLE. And but this was just the first thing, just quickly saying, can you create a woman running with the Bible in her hand, black and brown with a
Yeah.
pink background? And there's you know, one of the first versions, you can remix it and do some stuff. That's
Right.
such a great point. And you get me so pumped up on this one because I know every single time something new happens, I get anxious too, or I get
Yeah.
frustrated. I'm like, seriously, YouTube Shorts, like a
Yeah.
whole other seriously now podcasts are in. Like, it's an opportunity, but it's like I was on, you know, at Think Media, we invest in a lot of education and online courses for myself, our team. And I was on a call about business, but someone started talking about their AI clone of themselves, and I was like, seriously?
Yeah.
But you know, you can upload your content and it starts like answering questions, and I had to take a drink of my own medicine that I'd encourage others to do as well. Take a deep breath, but you got to stay open-minded. You got to
Yeah.
try new things.
Yeah.
And in a world like today, things are always changing. So that's some powerful tips. Sorry, it got me fired up. I thought I would
Yeah.
just
No.
try your prompt as we were talking
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah. I was like, so I'm like excited, like I'm enjoying doing all my thumbnails, like because I feel like the sky's the limit. Like I'm not limited to just, you know, what stock photos are out there now, you know. And so that's just kind of geeking out on like YouTube stuff. But YouTube might be your new thing. You know, you might be skeptical. Could YouTube really work for me? And I'm like, you should at least try it because for a lot of people it's working. And if you have the right guidance along the way, it can work for you too.
such a great tip there. And that's going to bring us to our 10th tip. And that is consistency is king. Consistency is king. Now, Rena, you've already touched on this a little bit, but talk a little bit about this. You've told us your journey from starting, from stopping, looking back and seeing, I wish I would have been consistent, but now you are being, and again, it is a marathon, not a sprint. It's looking at our life over not just years, but even decades. And what's the brand we want to build, the businesses we want to build, the impact we want to make. But when you think about consistency, the topic of this session is, if I knew then what I know now. Just unpack a few thoughts on consistency when it comes to actually winning on YouTube.
Well, in addition to figuring out what is really realistic for you and what you can do and still maintain a life and all the other responsibilities and desires and relationships that you've got going in your life, just even if you have once a month or once every 2 weeks. A friend of mine in VRA, she has a channel which has they're mega videos. They're like 30 minutes long and it's called Adventures Gone Wrong. It's phenomenal, but she can't do it once a week. She tried it. It's just too much on top of her regular day job and everything like that. So she's now committed to doing it once every 2 weeks. And that is what works for her. And has her subscribership decreased? No. Have her views decreased? No, they've gone up because each video is so good. So whatever works for you. Now I'm really, really, really trying to commit to one video every week. And my next goal is to add in more shorts. I'm not doing as many of that. So, but I'm trying to increase in small doses and small increments. So I don't say the equivalent of like, oh, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in a month, like metaphorically to video. You know what I'm talking about. I hope you can understand what I mean, because it's just not realistic. And I have found that works for me. And one thing I've also learned is that when I took like 7 months off, I didn't mean to. That's what hurt my channel just last year. I freaked out because of that. I had gone back to doing it in the fall regularly every week. And then at Christmas time, it was a crunch with my family and everything. And I felt awful. I was like, oh no, it's going to happen again. And I think I missed like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and it was okay. So I think if you miss a video here and there, or 2 or 3 even, it's not the end of the world. Try not to do what I did and have a break of like 7 months. Funnily enough, well, I don't know, it's not really funny, but while I was doing that away from YouTube last summer, because my kids were doing all sorts of things that I really, really, really had to be present with, and 1 month led to another with no new creation, that's when one of my videos from last February started to take off. And I was like, what? This is so crazy. I made that 6 months ago. What is happening? And comments started coming in, and I knew I had to get to it. So I tried to keep up with the comments, but I didn't have time to make a new video. But that really made me so psyched. And I knew that YouTube is the place for me because it stays relevant. That evergreen, if you're doing something trendy, maybe not. But if you're working on an evergreen topic, that stuff doesn't go out of style because people are always going to be interested in that topic.
Consistency is queen. Some people were a king. You decide. Vote in the live chat for people, but consistency is so critical, and such great tips there. And then Christina, you said something that I love the way you said it. You said YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint, so you got to play the long game. But you also said put in the reps.
Yes.
Break down that mindset a little bit for us.
Yeah. And this goes into being consistent, just means you're putting out the videos in the best way that you can based on the season of life that you're in, right? So 2020, I had a lot of health issues going on. I only put out 12 videos. You know, that's all I had in me. And that was a lot less than what I normally put out, but I was still doing the best that I could. And I think that if there's a commitment to just not give up and put in your reps, you're going to get better. You're going to grow. And one of the and I'll say, you know, when it comes to what I do, I'm not the best YouTuber. You know, I can tell you that I'm not the best communicator, Christian, you know, women's communicator, but I'm not going to give up. And so I think just that mindset in itself, like, okay, yeah, I had to take 3 months off last year, and now I'm back, and I'm going to put another video out, and I'm going to put another video out as you know, in alignment with the season that I'm in. And so one thing that has just really encouraged me is the truth in Galatians 6:9 that says, don't give up, because at the proper time, you'll reap a harvest. And I think regardless of where you're at on your faith journey, that truth stands true, you know, that the winner is the one that just didn't give up. You know, you can be the best and have the best videos, but if you give up, then you don't have a chance to continue to grow. And so for me, I'm just willing to put in the reps and get better each time, even if it's just a little bit. And even if I'm not number one, I know in my mind, I'm not giving up. So I'm going to be here, and there will be a harvest if I don't. It's not, oh, the person that's the best gets the harvest. Nope. The person that's the loudest gets the harvest. Nope. The person that doesn't give up. And so I've just decided, you know, like I said in the beginning, like I'm in this for the long run, like next 10, 20 years, like maybe when I'm 90, I'll be up here on YouTube. You know, I'll have some hologram of like my 20-year-old self, but I'll be up here making this content still.
Oh man, so encouraging. And after everybody was sharing in the comments, someone said consistency is supreme. Such another way to put it.
I like
So
that.
there you are, tip number 10. Well, listen, I want you to show massive love to our guests. I'm going to ask them each for just a quick parting word of wisdom and a shout out to how you can follow them and connect with them online. Such generous people. But show some love for Rena and for Christina. Rena, thank you so much for being on here. And also don't miss, because just a second, Melissa, we got to do the giveaway of our VRA one membership. She has a few announcements. We got to do our daily challenge, because learning has been great. In my mind, that all the notes, all the tips, has been such a powerful session. But remember, we got to take action. So in just a second, we're going to get to all of that content with Melissa. Rena, how can people connect with you, follow you? And thanks again for adding so much value today.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's been really such a pleasure to be here today. On YouTube, I'm at Rena Hademan, just RENA, like my last name. And other places, I'm at Thrive After 45, and my website is thriveafter45 with the letters.com. And I guess my parting wisdom would be, not just for YouTube, but for anything in life, is try really hard to look at things with judgment-free awareness. Both yourself, don't judge yourself, don't judge others, but be really super keenly aware. And if you can look at things and learn to be super aware with no judgment, it's really hard, especially for us women, I think. No negative self-talk, you're gonna learn so much more. Be a lifelong learner.
Lifelong learner, Rena, thank you so much. So grateful for you. And then Christina, shout us out. How can people connect with you, follow you, and then that final piece of wisdom?
Yeah, we're at Beloved Women on YouTube and Instagram, belovedwomen.org. You can check us out there. And just my final piece of advice is to realize that the influence you have is to make an impact on people's lives. And I'm sure many of you can think of a YouTube video or some sort of content that you came across at just the right time, and it was just the right message that you needed, that probably changed your life. And now you have the opportunity to pay that back and give that to someone else with the message that's in your heart to share. And that matters, and you matter. And so I hope to see you on YouTube.
Christina, massive love and respect and appreciation. Show some love for both guests. And wow, what a power pack session. As a reminder, we do have the limited replays here in the group for a limited time. And so definitely capture all those notes. And if anybody wants to recap their notes or generously share those, that can always be helpful. All 10 tips. But got to welcome the incontrovertible Melissa Think Media team back. What are we doing next, Mel? And what a session. What was one of your favorite takeaways?
Oh, this was so good. Okay, Christina and Rena, I hope you have a chance to just look over the chat right now, because there's so many people saying just how valuable the session was for them. But one of my favorite things, Sean, takeaways, wasn't even one of the main points. It wasn't even one of the 10. It was truly just seeing how many people resonated with Christina and Rena in the chat, because I do as well, of just like those really vulnerable moments of saying, yeah, it's been really hard. There have been moments that I wanted to quit, or Rena, like that you did take a break, and that you look back now and you're like, well, now I'm equipped to overcome those times because you have a supportive community around you. And I think that is just such a huge takeaway, is that again, we were all going to go through it. Rena did, Christina did, Sean did. We've all gone through really difficult moments. And so if you're experiencing those moments, you are not alone. I was in the chat for like a lot of this, and we're just going like, you're not alone. You're not alone. Yep, I've experienced that too. And I think that just like gives me a breath of like, it's just a sigh, just a breath of relief to say, yep, all right, we can do this then. So thank you guys so much for being vulnerable and offering all of those just incredible stories and tips and wisdom for all of our audience today. I just know it was so valuable for me, as well as everybody who's watching today. So we do have a couple things to get into now. I don't want to end the session. It was so good. I'm just like, still want to be in the chat with you guys, but we do have some giveaways to get to. So we are going to announce a VRA giveaway specifically, and then I have some bonus ones for you guys. But first, actually, okay, let's do the VRA giveaway, and then we're going to talk about the daily challenge from today. So this VRA giveaway, again, let's just talk about like community and support and knowing that you're going to be able to get through the hard times. I know that's what this VRA Academy, as well as the Video Rank Academy community, is going to afford to one person. You're going to be able to join a community like that. And so this is, again, like my favorite giveaway to do that we do all challenge. And so I'm about to announce that person. But before I do, I need some drum roll emojis in the chat right now. Drop some drum roll emojis. Let's see what Sean's drum rolling with remotes today and a level. All right.
And a level.
We've got this. You can do so much. So many. Look at all those different ways you can level things.
My
okay.
Remote. 52 minutes on this session. Pretty good. It was that was a lot of wisdom packed in. I mean, at this exact moment after our countdown. So anyways, okay. So I got my
all right. We've got some, let's see, do we have some drum roll? Yo, we've got Craig with the drum roll, Vincent, Gabe, Kendra. We've got all the drum rolls going. So the winner of the Video Ranking Academy membership is Drake Malone. Congratulations, Drake Malone. Wow. Okay. Drake says, I need VRA because I feel stuck with my channel growth. I'm trying different strategies, posting consistently, would love being a part of the VRA community. Drake, let's get you unstuck. That is what we're going to be able to do inside of VRA community. I'm sure the content inside the course itself will probably help unstick you. But also, if not, we've got the community for you. We've got weekly tips that we're going to be sharing. We have sessions like this with amazing creators like Rena and Christina regularly inside of our Facebook group. This session went into our Facebook group today because it is just like part of our regular flow that we do. And so all of this, Drake, you're going to get access to it on a regular basis, not just this week here inside the challenge. So excited for you, Drake, to be joining us to claim your prize. You just need to head to where? Say it in the chat. thinkmediasupport.com. I hear myself say this like a billion times a day. So thinkmediasupport.com is where you're going to go to claim your prize. And so just let our team know that you are the newest member of Video Ranking Academy, and we'll get you set up for that. And with that, let's get into our daily challenge for today. So as you guys know, the most important part of this challenge is actually taking action on what you learn. And so our daily challenge for today, it's posted inside of Circle. If you haven't made it into Circle yet, make sure our team will drop a link that you can get in there right now. And you can head over to this daily challenges tab and see this challenge labeled day 2 challenge. If you missed the first day's challenge, you can actually go in there and check it out right now. You can get caught up on both daily challenges. But this challenge is to actually pick the idea you want to make your next video on. Yesterday's challenge was to write out 3 ASQs that you can do. Today, we're going to say, hey, pick one of those. Which one do you want to do next? And work on creating a clickable title. If you are in VRA or you have our starter kit, you have resources and guides for helping you craft clickable titles. And so you can work on crafting a title that would catch your attention, that would make you say, oh, I have to click on that video. That's what we want you to be practicing here. And so we've got a ton of people 143 of you have already done your daily challenge for today. So that's amazing. Congratulations. I'm going to give something away to somebody who's already entered their daily challenge for today. I'm going to pick Andrew Bateman. Let's see what Andrew Bateman's idea for his video is. Why to support small farms, particularly cattle, beef cattle farms. Clickable title is why support small farms. So Andrew, first and foremost, let's send you a copy of YouTube Secrets. Congrats. And we're going to send you that copy. If you reach out to our team at, where is it? thinkmediasupport.com, thinkmediasupport.com. Let them know that I'm giving you a YouTube Secrets book. And then secondly, Andrew, let's talk a little bit about this topic as well as the title. So I am actually going to recommend, I think this is actually awesome. As somebody who I'm always looking for like small farms, I'm very into the co-op, the raw milk and all of those things. So I'm very in your world, Andrew. And what I would say is this topic is very focused on, it's not focused on me as the individual. This would count on me again, this is a little sad to say, but it would depend on me caring about supporting the small farms and going and looking for that information specifically. It's much more likely that I'm actually going to be looking for the health benefits of locally grown beef, or the health benefits of grass-fed beef or raw milk, or what are the risks? What are the pros and cons? I'm going to be looking for that information that is much more tangible, and it's much more focused on what my pain point is. And so whenever we talk about like picking a good topic, I'm a marketer, so this is where this is going to be coming from. Whenever we talk about catching people's attention, you want to think about what is their pain point, what are they actually feeling and like dealing with right now in their daily life that you can solve for them. So honestly, supporting small farms isn't a pain point for me. It's something I care about. I feel like I'm very close to small farmers, from my local town. So I do care about it, but I'm actually not searching that. So think about, what am I feeling? What am I trying to figure out? What am I dealing with? If you know that like locally fed beef helps health issues for people, talk about that. Because that's literally what people are looking about, like grass-fed beef lowering inflammation. Like, talk about those kinds of things. But at any rate, as you guys are going through, we've got a lot of different entries to this so far. So hopefully, if you're still listening, I would definitely take that advice. I would apply that to most people I've seen enter this so far. How can you focus your topic and title on the pain point of your audience and what they are searching for and looking for right now? I'm going to recommend you guys go back to ASQ, think about how you can answer a really simple question. But amazing job either way, Andrew and everybody else who already entered today's daily challenge. Congrats. And you know what? We're going to do one more giveaway for somebody who has been entering your daily giveaway codes, who's been finding these hidden codes all around and entering them at winthistech.com. The winner, we are going to give them an Elgato key light, because this is actually the light I use on my desk. I love it. Sean talked about AVLS.
I didn't know you were giving that away. This is an Elgato key light stand that my son stole. He takes it around the house. He's like wielding it as a weapon.
Okay. Dual purpose. Great. We love that. Okay. The Elgato key light is going to go to Jasmine Lambright. Congratulations, Jasmine. Jasmine Lambright, you have been finding codes, and you actually found a code that was in an email from earlier today. So congratulations. You found a code in an email. There's codes everywhere. There's codes in emails. There's codes in the circle group. There's codes potentially on the screen at this very moment. So you can be collecting those all throughout the week, heading to winthistech.com and entering those codes. It's really fun to me to see where you guys are finding them. I can actually see like which codes you've entered, and there's a couple that are pretty hidden. So it's like pretty fun when I see you guys have found one of those. So definitely make sure that you are keeping up with that. We're going to be giving away a brand new Sony camera to somebody who is entering at winthistech.com. So we've got tons more happening. This is just session 2 out of 5 for this week. And so if you've made it to all the 2 sessions we've had so far, congratulations. We want to see you live on the session tomorrow. We're going to be doing another huge giveaway. We're going to be giving away a Sony camera. So we've got lots of Sony cameras going out. You can enter to win a Sony camera at winthistech.com. But also, if you literally just show up live to tomorrow's session, then you are going to be able to enter to win a Sony camera then as well. That's obviously huge. So I really hope you can show up live tomorrow. It's going to be a really incredible session where we're going to walk through basically our entire process the best that we can for winning YouTube videos. So it's going to be really deep insights into how we do things here at Think Media. So an insider look into all of that. So that'll be a really cool session. You guys are going to be able to enter win a camera. You're going to get all of that amazing strategy. We're going to have more giveaways. So again, I hope I see you live tomorrow, the same time as this session was. It's going to be a really, really powerful session. Today, we do not have a VIP extra session, but VIP, we'll see you over in the circle group answering your questions and everything in writing. And then we'll be back for another VIP session tomorrow. So I think with that, we'll let's go ahead and sign off for today. Thank you all for spending your time here with us. We'll see you in the circle group. We'll see you on for tomorrow's session. And yep, I think that's it. We'll catch you soon.